Hello, I'm here, and just checking the music is subtly playing in the background. There we go. Right. Let's our display tablets being a bit funky. Alright. 2 seconds. Right. Let me open it back up. And you want to go for the A4? Gonna go for the A4 300. Bit smaller. I wonder if all my settings have just been replaced. Yeah, because I did take off the I did update. So no, you are not. Double click. So you are right. You are middle. Please let go. It's like it doesn't want to let go. Don't know why. Right, so pressure, tilt, and Windows link is on. That is. Do that. There you go. It's now not working again. Let's reboot it. Hello, Firewall. I'm doing good. Trying to get my thing to work. No, I don't want to open on new. Currently just likes to keep hold of things. Maybe I need to be more specific. No, it's just a mouse click. It's not good because something like this does really affect how you draw when you've got a tablet. I'll take that. Let's see. Can you let it go? Display. The user means the software shortcut for move cancel is unintentionally active and your tablet driver is registered to pen. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much. This is a bit of conundrum. Switch monitor, no. Erase pen, no. Switch ray, no. Floating menu, no. Disable, no. Not mouse board. You just click it once and then it's just latched on. Because this is what I should do. This is just me using normal mouse. So where to unselect it? So let's have a look at the... This is not the issue I thought I was going to have today. So it just moves all that. It's all because I upgraded the... Maybe I should go on MS Paint. I upgraded the driver tool and it's just causing issues now. It's the program, not the pen. So basically the program was working fine. So if I use my mouse, this is my actual mouse, it works. It just lets go. As soon as I use my pen and I just click, yeah, as a mouse, it's not currently set up as a mouse. The middle click. I'm assuming it's because it's set up as a mouse click rather than just being the middle mouse. Middle mouse. Enable mouse mode, would that work? Ah, this is a absolute farce, isn't it? Cancel you out. Defaults, no. Work area. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, right, let's do that instead. We will change it to spacebar. For now. Though to be fair, I might just... God dang it. Oh dear God. The irony. So it's now... Oh, I'm still in mouse mode. Okay, that works. Cool. Right, okay, we can draw now. I suppose. Yeah, I know. I will do a grand form of art. Let me select this. I need a bigger brush. There you go. It's not mod enough. I need a better brush. this one. Turn down the opacity. There you go. Masterpiece, really. Cannot be denied. Let's see, what can we get? I won't deny that. I won't deny it. I will not say I understand that form of art. True. It just looks like an elephant. Don't know what this guy is doing. No. Give me the bread. Give me the bread. It really depends on how much. For me, it really depends on how much I've got a clear idea and what I'm trying to actually achieve in it. So. Bigger elephant. I kind of get that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm probably the other way around. So I generally don't use as much reference, but for some reason, and it's fine. But then I always think it's like, oh well, it doesn't quite look right. So, it can be, is both a good and bad thing. So it's all about balance, I think. I'm sure they'll be alright with it. That's for reading, let me think. So I'm generally currently just reading a lot of webtoons lately. So I've read... do you know when you can't remember what something's called? How to Survive. Go away. Go away, I said. What's it called? It's called Surviving the Game as a Barbarian. That's what I'm currently reading. It's a webtoon. And by a guy who gets sucked into the game after completing it. I mean, how inventive of a concept. I mean, it took him 9 years to finish it, so I suppose that's different. No, I don't think they would. They might criticise the fact that I don't go out and help. Just go back to means. Just going to do a bit of smudging. Just got a bit low on that. Maybe. Maybe they would. Hard to tell, really. I think that's good enough for this. So inconvenient. Good, good. I will say the lack of convenience with my usual setup is becoming a bit of a nuisance because I want to really just move this around a lot, and it's really irritating because I can't just hold thingy to move it because it just locks the dang thing. I mean, I can currently do that because that's how it's set up, but it's a bit more intrusive because I've got to press down on the screen as well. See, now this is where the issues are. I'm actually going to roll this a bit more again. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Just the process. clearly know what I'm doing. Brown or yellow? Probably. But that wouldn't work because this is meant to be clay. But what did I do? Bah. Oh yeah, 100%. Totally, totally do. No, I don't think so. That's like, yeah. It's everyone has their own thought process about something. So it's like if you're just like thinking, it's like, this would actually, I'd probably do it this way. It's not necessarily wrong, but you just got to remember that it's like it's your way, and anyone who gets like offended with it is what I want to say is kind of just a bit more of a than you, because it's like they can just go, well, yeah, you're probably right. It probably would work like that, or they might not see it like that, or something like that. But it's like no need to be a thing about it. Oh, yeah, thanks. Now I just need to figure out where this is going. Sound a bit more. This back. And probably actually around here. Oh. Maybe. Maybe. I wonder if the LED storybooks in it. Yeah. Yeah, that's like blue. These body potions are wrong. They are wrong. Oh well. Yeah, seems fine. So, because yeah, that's definitely misplaced. Yeah. Things here. That's where I've got this. So it's too low. Yeah, I can have a look in a minute. And tell me up. Yeah. Post them up, I'll have a look in a minute, because I'm probably not finishing this thing tonight anyway. So how's it been for you anyway, Firewall? Yeah. Been alright lately? Still kicking me, see? Well, no. It's the red. I needed a blue. Yeah, you can send the reference images as well. So I feel like it's always nice to have something you can compare to. I mean, if that's what you used anyway. What seems to leave this random line? Why is it leaving that line? I mean, it's this weird line. It's not present in the red, but it's present in the blue. Let's do that. See, there it is again. What is it with blue that decides to leave that mark? It's like a... You really can't decide on what it is. Alright. That is strange. Is it just on my screen that that's showing up, or? Huh. That is strange. So basically on my tablet, it is showing a white streak, essentially, that goes all the way along here. But when I'm looking on the computer, like on like the stream computer, it's not there. So it's like a bit of an enigma. Don't know why it showed up for. Yeah. Let's bring that back down. Bring that back up. Right down. I should really be going to the corner. There we go. Filter, adjustments, no, blur. Just blur the thing. I'm on the wrong layer. Oh, we'll leave that for now. Figure it out later. I could have had the right name. I was selected the wrong one. I don't think it was a case of labeling in this instance. Not like in other instances. Anyway, we'll save that for later. Whoa. And quick. Glance. These. Great. I probably should, but I don't. What's the shark from? Resident Evil 1? No, I wouldn't have known that. I have not played Resident Evil 1. In In fact, I've only played one Resident Evil game to date, and that is the newest one. Which I will be releasing a video for that one at some point, to be honest. Right. Well, the first thing I noticed was the shading. It looks kind of like the only thing that's coming to mind for terminology is like a thermal mapping. You know, it has kind of like the coloured layers. So, but it seems fine. I can see where you've been going with it. So, like all of this here. Thing kind of separate into zones. Same with the fin. Kind of this like white a bit, and then I think the darker bit is too much because the white is right on the edge. So that dark bit that you've got should be much thinner. Oh no, it looks, to be fair, the actual image itself is actually really nicely done. And obviously you're taking your own kind of artistic liberties with the material, which is always fine. So, because obviously you've added in these little lines to add a bit more detail. I will say these look very rigid. Rather than the just general bumps that appear on it. I'd say it looks good, to be fair. One thing I was saying is like it looks very, like, you can definitely tell that the proportions on this are very close. I won't say exact because obviously it's not, but it's very damn close. And you've got the core of the image down. Yeah, and to go back to what you were saying earlier, yeah, this could be this, yeah. Yeah, but like I said, you could have done a lot of other things with the shading, but with things like this, obviously, like I say, so you're currently using pen. So obviously you're currently limited in how you're shading in, but so I would probably say, because you could probably get it to something like this at some point or another with the right method. So it would be a case of layering rather than anything else. So personally, if I was going to be lazy, I would bulk a lot of the shadows together and avoid doing a lot of the detail. So generally I would go for my usual lazy cell shade. So if I just add a multiply. So generally my lazy man would be, I'm just going to shade all of this because all of this is in shadow. And I'd only do the one tone. Anything in shadow just goes in the big bulk. Yeah, so anything I think, so, okay, that's in shadow, that can be shaded, that can be shaded. Yeah. And then that's probably how I would do it myself, but obviously you're using a pen, so this isn't exactly how that would work. So you'd say, so I might say that I'd get my pen and I'd just do I'm not sure how big the pen is, but do lines, and then I would use a line over top of those, kind of like what you've done with all these, but a bit more controlled. So in case it'd be more like, yeah, you do all this and then you just go through it and then you get like a bit more of a shadow. Yeah, so layering, so basically you want to, if you're going for the layering method, you want to be as light as possible. So say that you can get really light with your pen. Again, you want to be thinking about getting all your lines following a single direction rather than having them all facing different ones. This is just obviously again one method, but so if you got all your lines facing the same way and you could constantly give the exact same amount of pressure, it's just essentially layering up, so then you've got all your lighter tones on top and then you've got like a layer of your darker tones underneath. Obviously I'm scribbling again, but that's because I'm trying to be quick. But it would look a bit more like that, and then obviously you just have more tones. So yeah, so all this they've done here, you probably just only have it in one direction. Well, yeah, everything in time, as they say. But it's but overall, I think this is fine. And also breaking things off into sections as well, because like I said over here, I've just done it all kind of as a big thing. But you probably want to break it off slightly here for this. And if you, because I think you were saying last time that I seen that you were trying to do like a bit more of a block out, so you could also try and, when you're doing these ones, try and get rid of much as of the paper as possible. Just so then you're leaving that bit of a silhouette. And you just literally just have to keep going over it. So you probably want to take your time, and you probably want to be very slow, methodical, but you can just constantly just do this. And just go through the entire page. Yeah, I'd say so. I think the only thing that if you're keeping this method is just try and keep everything into, I think I keep stressing the I'd say try and keep everything into a single direction. Rather than splitting it all. I mean, I'm going to say a single direction. I mean, within reason. There's obviously, you could probably get away with, you can obviously get away with changing the direction in some locations. Like you might want the underside to go from left to right or right to left, but then you have the top and go the opposite direction. Because then you have like two opposites on either side of the thing, and then you can have like a more of a neutral in the middle. It's my thinking anyway. Yeah. To be fair, paper's generally more resilient than you think, and you're probably going to go through more ink than paper, I'll be honest with you. If you're careful enough and you look out for the signs of paper wear. Well, overall, I think that's a really good one. Obviously, again, figuring out how you kind of want to get your shading done and what looks right to you is the main thing. Obviously, within some point of reference as well. So hatching's slightly different, because hatching is going in one direction and then going in a different direction. Now, hatching will still go in the same direction. So basically so they'll all kind of have that same flow. So everything will go this way throughout the entire thing, and then they'll try and get the exact same, so that the hatching, no matter where it is pretty much the same consistency. Yeah, regardless of how you're doing the hatching. It's all meant to be the same. So, and obviously hatching can be as big and small as you want. So literally, you can do hatching like this. Where you just get the yeah, because hatching's great for getting some texture down, but you want to be consistent in direction throughout the entire piece. So if everything's so if you start doing it this way, then everything needs to go that way. Again, not a steadfast rule, but the basic principle. You will see in other pieces where they will disobey this rule and they will go in another direction, but because of how they've controlled it, it works. It's all about control. No, so it goes for the entire piece. Like I said, it is the basic ruling of how to hatch to me, but obviously more advanced forms because it's about knowing when you can break stuff, and the more you know the basics, the more you can go, oh, I can just break this a little bit. And a lot of comics use ink hatching, to be fair. So you'll see a lot of comics kind of have like this style of hatching where it's just like a little bit. Yeah, and it's generally just more so there for detail and texture. So, because they generally have color added to it, so they don't need it them for the shading. But well, my first thing would be to have a look at references of cross hatching or just shading in general, especially shading with a pen. And just try and look at it and figure out how they've kind of went about doing it. Now, this one I think is actually somewhat better than the last. And this has some of the principles that I was on about kind of embedded into it. So, I mean, already I can see that the face is somewhat different. Yeah, I get that. Let's just double check. Yeah, and to be fair, the long thingy on the fins is fine. It's just like it's just about controlled. So this one I think is pretty decently shaded, and So it's all about what makes is how you want to draw art is more often than not how you interpret something. This one uses what I've been thinking you needed in a lot of it. So already you can see that you've got 3 different shades. So you've got like you've got like this dark color here. You've got a really bright tone coming through with this over here, and then you got like more of a middle tone so over here as well, and that's kind of spread out through it. And like I was saying, I don't know about. I think you should have. So I'm assuming that's how it looks when they're all closed then. So I thought it was a quiet place. This one did look familiar to me. So yeah, so the fact that you kind of done more of a silhouette for this bottom bit, like okay, so this bit doesn't really matter, can't see any of that. You've done that for a couple of other places as well. And looking at the reference image, you probably could have actually got away with doing all of this bit darker. And apparently I'm muted my mic. Oopsies. Let's move this. Well, it's useful. Not very good to have it right next to you, and then you can cause havoc. At least I didn't accidentally stop the stream. But anyway, carrying on. Maybe that's how you kind of want to do it. Yeah, maybe you just get your pens, and when your pens are on the verge of death, you just save them up, and you go, it's like, right, the new pens are now for your very light tones, because that's all you're capable of. But obviously, normal pens can do it as well. You just got to be very light touched and not, heavy handed. So, because generally you can get 3 tones from a pen. One you just need to be very light handed with. The other one you can just be proper and brutish with, and then the third, the middle is just generally just using it as normal. But yeah. So I would say that this bit, this entire leg here, kind of is just a very good example of breaking it. The direction mode that I was saying. So you've got all of this top section kind of coming downwards, whereas all of this is going sideways. But because of this angle here, it kind of works. So Whereas I wouldn't, whilst the colouring over this bit here, of this arm here, looks good. I would say if you actually did what you did with the other one and just kind of went this way, it would have actually looked better. Yeah, overdoing something is very easy. But yeah, all in all, I think you're. I think it looks decent. I think there is the pose is quite accurate, to be honest. So, like I say, you're very good at getting the general pose down. So, whilst obviously not perfect, like obviously, the other thing I'd say is like this bit of yours is actually bigger than this one. But irrelevant, mostly. And there's a bit more of a curve here. So the curve's slightly different. The two, this looks more like it's going a bit of an arch. It looks, it doesn't really have this curved bit right here. But shiny. So just going from almost bedtime, I think. So just going from the reference image that I've got, because obviously in this reference, obviously, like I keep saying, it's like you don't need to do the same lighting reference as you do pose reference, so you can get two images, one that's for your light, and then one that's for your pose. Yeah, so you can have two different ones, and then just add them together. But if you're going for the lighting from this one, then obviously they had quite a bit of light coming from this top bit. And other than this bit of the leg, everything here is kind of in shadow. I think the sketch on both of them is pretty good. So I think the shark sketch is also good. And whilst I will say there are some technical bits and some, I'd say I'd like the shading better on this one, on the angel thing from Quiet Place. The overall drawing of the shark is still pretty good. Yeah, obviously shading can always be improved, but that's what you're working on. So anyway, I think that's it for me. I think I'm going to be out of here now. Was that useful? I'm not sure if that. I keep ranting every time you ask about these things. I hope this is useful. But Oh well. Oh well. Oof. Yeah, I think these two are actually, well, with the exclusion of this head, I think they've gotten a bit more accurate. Obviously, the shark isn't 100% accurate either, so the angle that it's facing is slightly off, and obviously you've added a few more elements to this, but overall, I think you've done very well with the poses. I mean, you generally get the poses very, very close, but I think more so in these ones. Where's my disc on? Yeah, because your Dead Space one that you showed us last time seemed to lack some detail. Yeah, definitely can see some improvement. Well, if they're useful to you, that's good. That's good enough for me. Yeah, definitely more of an improvement. Because obviously you're getting more and more used to the shading. Shading's getting better. I mean, you're adding shading. So the more you do something, the better you get at it. That's what they say. So yeah. Just looking at the trespasser. I'm not going to bring it up. But yeah. Like I said, you've because this is when you're obviously doing a lot of lines for all the detail and stuff. Whereas now it looks like you're leaning more into using, well, with the angel, it looks more like you're leaning more into using the shadows to bring out the forms a bit more in this one. Same with this one. Obviously, I've added these little lines, but that's fine. That just gives you a bit more of a rough texture than anything. So yeah. Yeah, generally, if you're trying to do something, less is generally more. Is generally not in your best interest to try and do every single little detail. It's why when you see people who do fish, they generally don't do every single individual scale unless they want to suffer. They'll kind of just have a pen on. Will not have a pen on. Kind of just have do like these. This little thing. They just do a lot of these kind of like little 3 things, and then just that's the texture. Yeah. So they don't need to do all of them. Only someone who's trying to be really realistic and hyper and detailed needs that. Oh, that Nuzlocke died. I couldn't figure out how to do it. Do the next bit. I finally got a gym badge, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to get over to Misty now. How am I doing that again? I may as well just try and get a level 100 Metapod at this point. It'd be faster. No, that thing died. It took me 33 hours to get one gym badge. I mean, I did the entire game in 24 hours with a single Pokemon. I mean, there's doing something because it seems cool, and then there's doing something because it seems cool, but very stupid. Sometimes you gotta give up on the stupid one. Yeah. But, I mean, currently I've only given up on 2 challenges. Might have started in this on some things, but yeah. Because I also gave up on the level 1 Elden Ring. I got stuck on a boss. Because I was not good enough. But yes, I was about to depart, wasn't I? But I started chatting again. But yes, I will probably speak to you again on Friday. Well, Saturday, I suppose. Yeah, when Brad's in. But obviously, if you've got anything you want to message about, don't feel free to. I'll probably see you at some point. Yep. Good night. Bye. When I get to the end stream.